Hi, it's Becky, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different to what I normally post, but I didn't want to post my next video without addressing this issue, and I wanted to raise awareness and I wanted to speak about this subject because racism is something we need to be talking about. Racism is wrong and there are no ifs and buts about that. What happened is wrong. What is still happening is wrong. And we need to change that. I did and about making this video and I had to check why was I concerned about it. The reason I was concerned about making this video is because I do not want to add hurt to those that are already hurting. And I have seen so much hurt. I don't want to add to that and I don't want to offend anyone. And that was one thing that was making me think, should I make this video? But if I make this video and it makes one person educate themselves, sign a petition, have more understanding, then I think that is completely worth it. This video is a way that I'm hoping to help. I'm really hoping that this helps. So the main thing I want this video to be is a redirection. I want it to be a redirection to you watching to educate yourself. That is the main thing I want. In the description bar, I'm going to leave some links. They're going to be to sites to help to educate. They are going to be links to petitions. There are going to be links to pages that you can donate. There are going to be ways to help to donate if you don't have any money. And yeah, that is the main thing I want you to look at. If you're watching this video, I want you to go down to the description bar and help. The main thing I want is that. So if you don't want to watch any more of the video, that's fine. Go into the description bar and do what you can. I want to address two statements that I think are being confused. And the first of those statements is Black Lives Matter. And I've seen so many people respond with, yes, all lives matter. No one is saying your life doesn't matter by saying a Black life matters. No one is saying that. There is loads of things saying, you know, if there was a row of houses and one house is on fire, you're not going to go along and say all houses matter. You're going to say that house matters. If everyone at a table is hungry and they've all got their dinner but one person, they're going to say that person's dinner matters. You're not going to respond with everyone's dinner matters. That's not the way it works. The people that are hurting are the ones that are mattering right now. And I also would just like to make the point that if I say to a racist person, all lives matter, that person does not think a Black person's life is a life. So me saying to someone who is racist, all lives matters, does not make any sense. If I say to someone who is racist, all lives matter, they do not count someone who is Black in that statement. Black lives matter. The second statement that I want to talk about is white privilege. White privilege doesn't mean that you are privileged as such. It does not mean that you have a nice house. It does not mean that you have a nice car. It does not mean you have a good job. It doesn't mean you have loads of money. It's not that kind of privilege that someone is talking about. And it doesn't mean that your life hasn't been hard. And it doesn't mean that your life is really easy. It doesn't mean that. What it means is the colour of your skin has never affected those things for you. I saw a statistic that it is more likely for a white man with a criminal record to get a job over a Black man with a clean record in America. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. That is what it means by white privilege. Because the only thing that is making him get that job is because of the colour of his skin. Now, I am obviously not an expert on this subject, but I wanted to address those two things, and I also want to tell you a story. This man here is my great-great-grandfather. His name is Samuel Ishmael. He was a Black man and he came over to this country from Barbados. My great-great-grandfather was also a preacher. He used to stand on a box on Southend Front and preach. So maybe that's where I get that from. The little girl in the picture with him is my great-grandmother. This picture is taken in London and it is outside a watch shop which he used to work in. He met my great-great-grandmother, who was a white woman, and they fell in love. They moved in together and they had a baby outside of wedlock. And I cannot imagine how hard that was for them in that time. I know her father disapproved of her choice, and I know that she didn't speak to her sisters until my great-great-grandfather passed away. My great-great-grandfather didn't want to have children because he was worried about the world that they would come into, and he knew that they would face racism and he knew that they would face hurt, and he didn't want to subject his children to that. But my great-great-grandmother wanted children so bad, so they agreed to have one, and they had my great-grandmother. I want the world to be a place where my great-great-grandfather would have felt safe, where he would have felt safe bringing his children into the world, and that is the main thing I want. He was scared to bring his children into a world that was full of racism, and that racism hasn't gone, it's just found ways to hide. Racism now hides in places of power. Racism hides behind a police badge. Racism hides behind a keyboard. And it should not exist, and it should not be there. The fact people are murdered because of the colour of their skin is disgusting, and the fact they are murdered by people who are meant to protect them is even worse. I am fully committed to using my voice, to using my platform, no matter how small, to helping change this. And I hope someone watching this feels the same, and I hope you spend time reading and educating yourself and making action, because this video, what I'm doing now, is the bare minimum. This is the absolute bare minimum of, just speaking. It is our actions that we need to be putting into place. It is educating ourselves, it is educating our children and having difficult conversations, and it is not letting racism happen in our presence. I hope this video has been helpful. I hope the information in the description bar is going to be informative for you. And I hope that if you are someone who is watching this and you are hurting, I hope you know that you are supported. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.